Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to It Is On You, the show where we stop pointing finger and start looking in the mirror. I'm your host, D. Tennessee T. Wilson, and today we're going to be diving deep into the truth that many people overlook. God said, it is not good to be alone. So if you are a Christian like me, or if you follow or affiliated with any religion that believe in God, God said it is not good to be alone. So let's dig into it. We live in an era where we celebrate independence. We glorify isolation, but we mistaken isolation, independence for peace. And we are forgetting something very important, something that is very important. God's original design for us. So today I'm going to go dig deeper. I'm going to tell you why is it that being alone or isolating yourself wasn't the reason God created you or created us. And actually being alone, isolating yourself is actually working against you than you may think. So we're going to talk about this in deeper. So let's start from the beginning, right? Let's go to the Bible. Let's use some context in the Bible. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, God said, it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him. I'm going to read that again. And this is Genesis 2, verse 18. God said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him. Now, this verse tells us something very powerful. Being alone was never God's plan for you. He didn't look at Adam in the garden and say, hey, he's okay, he's chilling. No, he didn't do that. He looked at Adam in the garden, surrounded with all those beautiful creation, all those beautiful animals. And you know what he said? He said, it's not okay. He said he needed a suitable partner. That is the key. You can have everything and still be missing something when you are alone. Because you wasn't designed, you wasn't created for that purpose. You wasn't created to be alone. So you can have everything in this world and you still be. And if you are still alone, you will still feel that you haven't fulfilled the purpose you were created for. So when God created Adam and then he created Eve, suitable partner. The key word, you have to find someone that is suitable for you. If you even look into the book of Genesis, if you dig deeper, God created connection before he said it was complete. So after he made the heaven, he made the earth, he made the sea, he made everything. He didn't think it was complete until he created Adam and Eve. So he didn't create Eve or he didn't create Adam just to exist. He didn't create Eve just to exist. No. He created them to form that partnership. And that is why his first instruction to Adam and Eve was be fruitful and multiply. Now let's think about that. How can you be fruitful and multiply when you are alone? How can you be fruitful and multiply when you tell yourself, I'm okay just by myself? You cannot multiply by yourself. You cannot build a legacy by yourself. You cannot fulfill that divine purpose in isolation. But yet, then we still see people glorify isolation. You see posts like, I do not need anybody. I'm single by choice. I am protecting my peace. This sound empowering, but the truth is, those are all signs of pain, not power. When you isolate yourself, most of the time it based off of fear. Most of the time it based off because of so many rejection you have had or disappointment. So because of that, you are cutting off your ability to grow and bear fruit. Because you have to be fruitful and multiply. That was the first instruction God gave to us. Now, being fruitful requires connection. So let's look at Jesus. Like I said, I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus is the Son of God. He was the most self-sufficient person ever to walk the earth. He didn't isolate himself. What makes you think that isolation is a strength? No, it's not. Jesus had disciples. He had community. He walked the earth. He formed connection. So I'm telling you this today. God did not create you to be alone. He created us to form that partnership. He created us to be able to help each other grow. So let's look at what the Bible actually says about being fruitful and multiplying. It's not just about having kids. No, it's not. I know most people thinking being fruitful and multiply mean having kids. Funny thing, you can't even have kids when you're alone. You need another person. So just think about that for a second. So how can you be fruitful and multiply? So I'm asking, especially my Christian brother and sisters out there, how can you be fruitful and multiply when you are alone? Now, being fruitful and multiply is about producing, it's about creating, it's about expanding what God has placed inside of you. God created in his own image. And we all know God is creative because the first thing he did, he created things. So everybody has something in them. Everybody has something in them that they can create and multiply. Again, not just having kids. A tree cannot bear fruit without pollination. See? No, there's some sort of partnership. A seed cannot grow without the soil or without you watering that seed. Partnership has to be something. A vision, this is the key one. A vision cannot strive without partnership. So you can have the big vision, you have the big business plan, you can have like this thing that you really want to do. If you don't find a partnership, I'm sorry, it's not going to go. It's not going to get where you want to be, because that's not how things work. We were not created to be like that. We need that partnership. And this is not only about having a girlfriend or boyfriend, it's about connecting with others. God used people to multiply. No, God used people to multiply purpose. So if you have a dream, you need to find a partnership to multiply that vision, to bring it to life. It said a dream alone is still a dream. A shared dream, now that's the reality. So before you start to make that post, start to think that you can do all by yourself. Just think about it, especially if you're a Christian, if you believe in God, He did not create you to be alone. Let's be honest, right? Most people will say, I'd rather be alone. I've been ready, I did ready at peace. Most of the time, if people make that statement, they have been hurt. I can guarantee you 9 out of 10. They have been hurt before, they have been betrayed, they have been lied to, they have been disappointed. So to build that wall and call it standard. You know, I'm just working on myself. I just want to be alone. I have everything. I have this good job. Come on. And then they go to work, gets home, turn on the TV, go on Netflix, go on Facebook, take the phone, and then fall asleep alone. That's not what you were created for. Now I'll go back to the Bible again. The Bible said in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 1, or man who isolate himself seek his own desire. He rage against all sound judgment. I'll read that again. As Proverbs 18, verse 1, or man who isolate himself seek his own desire. He rages against all sound judgment. What that means. When you isolate yourself, you start believing your lies about yourself and others. You stop trusting, you stop hoping, and you stop connecting. And before long, you will start growing. Because you cannot grow in isolation. It's impossible. No. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. No, it does not. It happens in community. Think about it when somebody is traumatized and you go meet a psychologist or counselor or whatsoever, you have to talk to them. So being alone is not a flex. No. First, it wasn't created for that purpose anyway. So why you want to be alone? So how do we break free from isolation and live the way God intended us to live? Now, many of us goes to church. Many of us read the Bible. But I will tell you how, just based on my own knowledge. The first thing you have to do, acknowledge your fear and pain. Because, like I said, most people that have been hurt, betrayed, lied to, they form that wall. So you have to acknowledge that fear and pain. Admit that you have been hurt. Don't let that pain define your future. Do not. Then rebuild trust step by step. Take your time. Now, let God lead you into a healthy relationship, into a healthy partnership, into a healthy friendship. And then eventually you will find that love. You also have to pray for divine connection. You have to pray that the right people will help you multiply what is in you. And you have to find that connection to meet those people. Sometimes I wonder when people say, I don't want to be bad. I don't want to go out there. I just want to stay by myself. How would you grow? You cannot find connection just staying home, going to work, coming home. You need to connect with other people. You need to expand your cycle. One thing people normally say, I'm going to drift a little bit. There's no good, I'll just talk to my librarian, but there's no good librarian man. And most of the time when they're saying that you check the cycle, they just within that tiny cycle. I know we librarians are not a lot, probably 3 to 3 million librarians out there. So those few thousand or few hundred friends that cycle you in, and you just make that general statement: there's no good Liberian men or there's no good Liberian women. You have to expand your cycle. So if you're not finding that person, guess what? It's not because they don't exist. It's because you're limiting yourself. That's all the key. That's why I say it is on you. That's what the podcast is all about. It is on you to expand, create connection. Then the right people, the right person will come along. We all know we wasn't created to live our life just alone. We know that. I've said that I don't know how many times, and I'll keep saying that we were never created to be alone. Even success, your purpose, and your destiny depend on connection. So think about that. How can you be alone and form a connection? That's impossible. So I know I normally come on for 15 minutes. Don't like to keep you here too long. So before you post moving forward that statement, I am single by choice. I choose to be alone. I don't need anyone. Ask yourself, is this ready peace? Are you ready yourself? Or is it just protection against pain? Or are you just afraid so that you don't get hurt again? And if that answer is yes, then you have to, again, like I said, acknowledge your fear and pain first. In my previous podcast, I talk about the three set: mindset, heart set, and spiritual set. And I'm going to keep saying this because you first have to shift your mindset. And that come acknowledging, hey, you know why? This happened, I'm moving on. That mind, got to get that. And then your heart, you got to forgive and let go. You got to forgive that ex of yours. You got to forgive your parents. You got to forgive the government, whatever, but you have to forgive. Examine your heart. Start on a clean slate. And then your spiritual set. Like I said, the heart set and the spiritual goes together. You have to get involved in your church. Do things for God. Ask God to direct you. You have to do those things. And truly, when you start to do these things, then you will find your purpose and you will become fruitful and you begin to multiply. I mean, you begin to multiply spiritually, emotionally, and even financially. That's the what a lot of people focus on. I need my mindset to be rich. But guess what? There's layers in that. So you do need people. You do need partnership. You do need connection in order to grow spiritually, financially, emotionally. Just think about it. God was very clear. Very clear. It is not good for man to be alone. So stop settling for isolation. When God designs you for multiplication, you have to multiply. So if this message found you, well, if you love what I'm talking about, put it that way. If you like what I'm talking about, don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe, TC Opinion, on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram. And remember this: your life is your responsibility. It is on you. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great, great, great day.